friend, it's Pat Sloan here. So first of all, let me just tell you where the vest is from, because I will get a bunch of you asking me, where's the vest from? It has little tiny like birch branches and little cardinals. So this was bought at Coldwater Creek a few years ago. And I think for a couple years they still carried it. This year they have a white vest with winter scenes on it. So it's a little bit more pattern. It's less white as a whole thing, but it looks really darling. So Coldwater Creek, if you're looking for a vest. Hey, gotta let you know, So today is an exciting day. The Barn Star. The Barn Star is the last, well, it won't be I'll show it again. But it is today I want to wrap it up. So this has been a year-long sew-along from the book here by Shelley Kavana. And yes, I did do a few little clips here when I was moving the blocks around for this, so let's take a look at that. So I want to switch a few blocks for color now that I have so much of it up here. So like this peach one is against a lot of peach, and I can easily, these blocks are the same size, I can easily just transfer and put this green one here and put the peach one down here. So it's actually not like right next to it. It's, you know, catty corner. And I think that just balances that out a little bit. And then there's another one like down here. This black, there's a lot of black, a lot of black, a lot of black. So I think I can trade this for something that maybe has a different color that looks, you know, like I could trade it for this one here. I could trade that guy. I've got a lot of pins and things right now. So I could trade this guy and see what he looks like. So I could put him, which is, you know, light. I could also just try the blue one. So let me try the blue one there. And that one I might like a little better. It still has a black in the middle, but I think it just has a different vibe because it has so much blue around it. So I like that one better. So that means up here, I think I'm going to put the black. Here, you can't see too well, but let me put it up here. The black, and then this one with the gingham, and then pull back. Yeah. So it brings that sort of heavier pop of black and green there. Yeah, so that's good. I think everything else is pretty good. It's pretty good. The only one I'm debating on remaking is this one. You kind of never know with these little spacers unless you decide to sort of make them as you know, as you're building, make them in advance. I don't know. I don't mind it. I'm thinking when it gets sewn in, it's going to be fine. There's a pink and white right below it, the star here. So, you know, so once it's sewn in, I think it's going to be okay. But that's the only one right now I'm looking at. I think everything else is good. So I'm going to start sewing. So I'm getting some of them sewn. This is a fast sew. I highly recommend getting the blocks done and then doing the sew. It's very satisfying. Very satisfying. Those two are sewn. This section here is done. And I did the pinwheels. I'm leaving it in. I'm going forward. I think it's a cute little touch. And so getting that section done. Oh, it's much faster sew at this point to put it together. It is a monster quilt. It is super big, very long. So there we go. So I have no borders on it at this point, but I am going to put a little bit of a border because the width of it is like 80. So that means there's a 10-inch drop, I have a double bed, I have a queen-size bed. Queen-size bed, the width of the top, the flat surface on the top is 60 inches. So that means 10 inches on the side, that's 70, another 10 inches on the other side is 80, just as it is. And I like a little bit more than a 10-inch drop. So the length is, it does not need to grow anymore. It is already like 100. Yeah, it's crazy long. And so I got this fabric to do like a 4-inch border on the sides. So there'll be a 14-inch drop on each side. And my long armor can handle this. So we are good to go. So I will have this on either side, like this, way out here. Can you even see that? No, because I'm standing in the way. So pretend. Can you see? Oh, I think maybe if I stand way over here. And I can't even hold this outside today because it's windy and it's just a top, so it would just be flapping around. So there, you can kind of see. So this is just going to be on two sides as a wider unit, about that wide. And then I'm just going to do a little 1 inch across the top to lock all those seams down and make it nice and clean. And so that is the plan. So I have to get those cut and put them up there and all that. I also bought a backing. This is the Country Rose fabric line, which has been out for a little while, but there is still some pre-cuts of it. There's still a few of the pieces of fabric to be a companion with it. So I did Country Rose as kind of the primary, but then I added in a lot of these plaids and some other whites like the dots and yeah. And it took a lot of fabric. This quilt takes a lot of fabric. It's a big quilt and there's a lot of piecing. And a shout out to our ambassador Bobby who helped me sew this one. Yoo-hoo! So most of it though is from the Country Rose. So this backing, it's 8 yards, which is, I'm going to show you. We're going to do a little diagram, and I'll show you how I figure it backing, basic backing. And it's going to match nice because I'm going to do this little green here. Super good. I probably need to make, if I'm going to put on my bed, I need like green pillow shams. So I don't know if I thought that through to buy enough of this. So I don't know. Or I can always use a different green. It won't matter. Or I could even use the black and white checkerboard. It might be kind of cute, you know, like that. I mean, gingham, like the gingham, like, you know, like that. Might be kind of neat. You know, it's in a lot of the blocks because I have 2 pillow shams on the bed. Okay, so that is what I have to do. And we're going to go to the other side of the table and sort of talk through that a little bit more. But before we go over there, before I drag myself over there, the ornaments, you can get the ornaments now for your tree, for the Fabric Curator. And I just want to show you size-wise. If you love the sticker, it's a little bit smaller. See, it's a little bit smaller than the sticker, the ornament. So just perfect, right? So excited about these. Okay, let's go to the other side. So let's just do quilters backing math. I think I like using a diagram to do that. I also find it easier mentally to do vertical, and so I do vertical, and I'll show you what I mean. So let's take a look on the paper. And I'm going to just draw out how I think about this. And I'm going to do it upside down. Isn't that exciting? Let's see how I do. So here's the quilt, right? And let's say that the width of it ends up being, okay, I can't do numbers upside down. So width of it is 95, and say the length will be 104. Or it probably should be a little bit, might need to be a little bit longer than that. Just talk to your long armor if you're doing it with a long armor and find out. Sometimes they for the rollers and how they're going to position it, they don't need as much extra on the width or the length. You know, you just have to talk to them. So let's say I'm going to do it like that. 95 by 100, 104. So that means I've got width of fabric, which is 40, right? So your width of my fabric is 40. I have another width of fabric here, which is, see, now I got one made. I can kind of do them upside down. So you got that one as 40. That leaves me, when you do the math, that leaves me with like another 15 inches. 40, 40 is 80, 95. So you've got 95 across. So this is not the whole width of fabric. Now the length, so you're just taking this piece of fabric, I'll just use this as an example. So you're just taking this piece of fabric, and now we need to know how many yards. You know you're going to use the whole width. Here, let me scroll out. So you would know you would be using the whole width like this for the back. And now we need to see that length that goes the whole way down. I just find that mentally, it's the picture of it for me on doing length is fine. I know some of you prefer your seams to go horizontal. Some long armors kind of require that of you. Mine don't, never have, so I can do it how it works for me. But that is how I think of it. So now I'm doing the whole length here, which I am going to need a bit of length to get that 104. So it's about 3 yards. Each yard is 36 inches. 2 yards is 72 inches, etc. So we got 3 yards. So that means I need 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, 3, 6, 9. That means I need 9 yards of backing fabric. But I don't need the whole thing here. It's, you know, so for me, I've got 8 yards. So that means I've got 2 yards over here that I will work with. I have 2 yards. I have 2 yards over here that I will work with to create this 15 by 104. You know, so I can sew a seam, you know, somewhere along there. And, you know, so there'll be like a seam down here on this strip. No seams on these two. They can just do the yardage as it comes off, and those are the seams. So that will be how I figure this out. And of course, this one is my border. This is the floral is my backing. That guy, I'm going to sew with that guy because I really wanted for this quilt, I really wanted to have the same the fabric from the fabric line. I just felt like after all of that that's gone into it, that it would just be really pretty to get the, whoops, I'm messing with the mic, that I would get the same fabric. So that's where I am. I will get all this sewn up, you know, get the borders on there. Maybe I'll have some clips of it that'll show on another day. But today I just want to tell you what all I'm doing, and then it will get all those seams will get sewn, and it'll go to the spa and be quilted next year, because I have some other things at the spa already. So this will be coming back next year, and then we'll see it all finished. And I might just look at something to do pillow shams, do the whole thing, put it on my bed. That'll be kind of fun, right? Be fun. Well, what about binding? So yeah, I thought, well, let's see. I've got a bit of fabric because I bought a lot extra because it was pretty, and I just got a lot extra. So I can take and do scrappy binding, which is probably what I will do. Oops, you can't see this. Hold on. So I had bought extra fabric when I did this because I really didn't know. So I bought extra, and I have extra. Not enough. It's all fat quarters though. Like I bought an extra bit of fat quarters. I don't think I have anything. Oh, I do. Wait, what is this? Okay, so I have this. Okay, here's binding. I could do scrappy binding because I thought I only have fat quarters, but no, I've got this. I have got plenty. This can be the binding, which will be perfect on this. So the dot, yeah, that is good. And none of this is enough to do like a pillow sham, but this is the fabric, something similar, and I do have some yardage, I think, actually already. Yeah, I do. I'm looking up there. I have some gingham, black and white gingham, so it might be nice to just do pillowcases in that, which I think will just be a nice little touch for the quilt. And then I have to put this either in stash or donate it for making charity quilts. So that'll be the next thing, is to clear this out. So I also ended up with, you know, a bit more of this because I wasn't sure how often it would get used. You know, it was that kind of a thing. There was just a lot with such a big quilt. I just wanted to have options and not feel like I was super restricted. So now I do have extra, which I can make use of some of it, but it definitely will be gifting to the groups to make charity quilts, so make beautiful charity quilts. Don't you think? Yeah, I think they will. I think they'll be really pretty. Okay, what are some other things today? I have the December calendar, so hold on. So the December calendar is here. It is loaded up so that you can download it. I have, I think it's kind of relaxed, a little bit more relaxed. But we are starting the, two things. We'll do that. A cute little bag. This little drawing bag, we'll be doing that on some Wednesdays. And also the canning jars. For the canning jars, I put a project page up. And that will start the last Wednesday of the month and then go in through the Wednesdays in January until and then eventually we'll hit the Block Wednesday. And at that point, we'll have canning jars and Block Wednesday on the same day for a couple weeks. But that's okay, like maybe 3 weeks. But the canning jars, I have the 2 of these patterns, and one of them is a purchase pattern. It is the smaller one. That's the one I'm going to make because I want to hang it in the kitchen, and that's a small space. The other one is a free pattern, and it's kind of fun because it has those half jars. Those are really super cute, and of course you could just make a whole fabric. I probably will show you the measurement. I'll probably give you the measurement for a jar that's totally full, and then the jar that's half. But that's cute. It's a bigger quilt, so it'll be more of a lap quilt or a bigger wall hanging for those of you who make that one. But the pattern is free, and I wanted to look for a free pattern for those of you who didn't want to purchase the canning jar pattern, but wanted to sew along. So you have an option, and the project page is at I Love to Make Quilts, so you can go over there and see. Do the download. And I also had a suggestion for one fabric line if you were looking, called Fruit Loops, which is super cute. I'm going to use my stuff. I'm going to use stash. I'm going to go through, find fun things to put in the canning jars. I think it'll be super cute. Oh yeah, remember there's 2 pages. There's a second page of the calendar. 2 pages. And if you're online, when you're looking at the second page, if you're online and connected to the internet, there's clickable links. All of these links in the PDF will click to the pages for most things. So that will be good. Okie dokie. Okay, so we're going to wrap this one up today. First of all, I have to show you, does anybody do this? Like I have this binding. I think I showed you this the other day. And it has been sitting here to be sewn by my machine for like a week. Like, what's with that? What's with that? So I have to do that as soon as the machine's on. I just got to sew it and then put it over. What is with that? The other thing is, it is French toast day. I love French toast, but it has to be made a certain way. I can't eat just like any kind of French toast. Yeah, it's like, it can't be too mushy. It has to be pretty dry. It has to be very dry. It has to be sort of well done, cooked all the way through. I don't like anything mushy. And I did have bind a quilt on today, and I am going to pick one. That's my plan, because I have like mount binding going on still, like so many to be bound. And I will pick one, although I don't know that I will do it. There's quite a bit to get the borders on here, and then tomorrow we're doing finishing up the borders on our Block Wednesday, and then I have the Oh My Stars border. So binding, even though I have it on the list there, I'm thinking about it. Let's just put it that way. I'm thinking about it. So don't forget to order your ornament, and of course there's the sweatshirts and t-shirts and everything else and coffee mugs with the cute saying. Okay, my friend, I am excited to be at this stage with the Barn Star. Super excited, and have a little bit of work to do. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you